Greetings from the beauty shop hostage saga because I can't go take a crap. Name of the game, cemented butt plugs for national security. Blowing up huge. Got that prostate growing crazy inside me. The parasites are having a fucking party. Got a little heartburn going on. They digging and mining every which way but loose, and they are proud. They refuse to be acknowledged the creator. They are atheists that they are growing in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory there. So they are too proud, too cosmetically valuable because of all the cash they done created from all the food that I ate that gave me no nutritional value. All that good bread I've been eating got me nothing, but the parasites got fat. And they are so valuable that they don't want to acknowledge, so they're atheists to the fact that they don't want to acknowledge that they are living within another, they are independent. They are emancipating themselves by killing the host, basically. So, Violet Beauregard here. While I'm playing the Mike TV, stuck in the bubble, can't do nothing but watch, as everybody, while everything goes on. It's all about the upgrade. It's vying for position, fighting for the upgrade position, the valuation. And it has to do with the insider trading. Inside my organs, eyes crying, the insider trading. Well, they are living inside of me. Now, there's all sorts of things. It's the Chester Cheeto, like playing a game of chess. Cheetos. The game itself is rigged because of the source value. The house is getting robbed. That's why it's rigged. The house makes nothing. The house doesn't get paid. They're just knocking it over. Breaking the bank. They're transferring all the assets from inside of me, emancipating themselves to another facility so they can be there because they're proud, cosmetically proud. Their emancipation of the assets that I provided because they don't want to acknowledge that sort of fact. Theoretically speaking, of course. And it's all about breaking the bank. Let's chop that motherfucker down. Have us a bonfire. Party around it. Whatever. Like the Indians used to cut up buffaloes, use every last piece. Well, I got scalped for the golf courses, of course. The bones they're using, the organs, every drop of blood goes into the chemistry labs. The skin is, covered. My whole body. I'm that tiger tattoo guy, It's all shares, I don't get to feel nothing except for the pain. It's the agony and the ecstasy. Well, I get all the agony while I give out a ton of ecstasy. Not to mention a lot of heroin, a lot of Oxycontin. And the whole thing is, I'm speaking in metaphorical context. Because with the upgrade part of it is you're trying to buy it's like the stairway to heaven. Buying your stairway to heaven. So you're basically trying to spin doctor the logic. You can always buy, that's why cash is numero uno, It's everything. Because you can buy your way out of just about anything if you just produce a ton of cash. And then especially if you have a VIP validator like yours truly here, the high-rise that's getting knocked over because the terrorists decided to crash into me and knock me down, the trade center, that sort of thing. And so then you got this solidarity. And nobody wants to, it's just this notion of how far can you go, the extremism, which I think is generated through the longevity. Well, the disease is taking such hold. The disease, I was figuratively, metaphorically stabbed, speared, hacked, macheted, butchered, and the infection just grew. And I'm not allowed health care because you want to protect what's going on inside. Any kind of health care. See, there's different levels going on inside of me. Violet Beauregard, blown up big as a blueberry. So there's all sorts of levels. So they decided it'd be safer just to, no health care, you know, no medicine, no health care, no nothing. And anything I try to take is distribute. They, you know, the spin doctors can fix that to where I get no benefits. You know, they've got to ensure and protect the scams going on inside of me in the chocolate factory. So it's all about the manipulation of intent. That's kind of why I'm force dependent. Because if I had the resources, I could fix myself. You know, like Lee Majors, the bionic $6 million man. No, I'm the $6 man. You know, I pay to get fucked. I like it so much. I pay to get beat. I pay to be a slave. I'm an excellent. My pimps get paid for me to get beat. You know, that's how fucking special this whole thing is. I mean, that's pride right there. You know, it's bottled and sold. You know, every drop, everything used, every inch of skin covered with a tattoo ink shared. You know, that whole mentality. But if you look back, the family was exposed many years, and obviously Louisiana being a bank because of St. Louis Cathedral and the wormhole it had into France, and the wormhole it had into Latin America, Italy. So what did they do? We were used as keys because we could connect. There's Tulane and Loyola. Tulane and Loyola. A Jewish college and a Catholic university. Loyola's connected to the Loyola Marymount Lions over there in Los Angeles. There's Loyola of Maryland. There's a Loyola of Chicago. And then Loyola is also connected to Jesuit High School on Bank Street that was formed in 1847. And 47 is this whole thing, numerology is gospel in these scams. Because 69 is one of the big ones. 1690 Barclays, you know, all sorts of 69. 69th Street, where you got all sorts of things, especially the Cornell Presbyterian Hospital that kind of, I pay a lot for that. I'll tell you what, that's another, I mean, every investment I have is horrible because I don't get anything. I get nothing. I pay, I get nothing in return. It's hung out there like Michael Jackson's baby or Prince blanket hanging over the edge. You know, that's my life. Call it a crucifix, you know, but I never get to go in or throw it on the welcome mat to walk over. So you've got these addictions to spin doctor scams. You know, it started way back when. We just happened to be the key maker. You know, we could because we have high rank, like Cardinals, we'd be like a penthouse key maker, and so, but we're used. The drops of our blood, the organs, everything distributed, used, and then there's solidarity, honor among thieves, as you would say. The solidarity, tight snatch, you know, you can't get nothing in there. And so the solidarity of emancipating, providing the source, while the source is also being the beautician, you know, to make it all pretty and stuff. Because of horrific mismanagement. I mean, come on. I'm driving a $1 billion vehicle, blind. I have no clue in the world. $1 billion fleet of vehicles, blind, being steered by, you know, and then I'm hammered down to where I just, you know, literally easy to manipulate. And they figured that out. The mob figured that out long ago. That's why you shrink down the self-esteem so they make it easier to steer. $1 billion fleet of vehicles? Heck yeah, you want, you know. But it's really, I mean, come on, mismanagement. And I have a feeling it goes back to, you bet your life, Groucho Marx. Well, they bet my life, this au natural, Tasmanian devil, Tornado, if you will, you know, that just this wild, and it didn't work. I mean, I can't protect myself. I wasn't allowed to. I got hacked a few big times. And obviously, the main thing that has worked, chemistry is God in this system. Chemistry is everything. Because it's the miracle. Chemistry is the miracle. You can make anything up. There are ways you can hide anything in chemistry. Chemistry is everything. You know, that's why Breaking Bad, you know, it's truly, it's math. You can make anything up. Nitrous, you know, you can spin doctor, manipulate the facts, any sort of thing. And then, so it goes on, and it's like it went from CBS, Columbia Broadcasting System. Well, they were hooked on us. Well, we were exposed, and anybody wanted could come drill. And they're trying to claim it. Oh, Louis of Louisiana, it's natural resources. But we are drilling, they're actually drilling in globally, and so it's really crooked math. I mean, that's the problem. That's what they're hooked on, is the chemistry crooked math. It's not just the products they produce, it's the super high value placed upon those products. It's like if you take somebody and you somehow, they make enough money to buy a Ferrari. And the problem is, in order to steer and control the value of a Ferrari globally, it takes, that's why cash is worship. Is in order for these clones to be able to utilize it's all about, I'm telling you, cash value is what this is all about. And the bank, Jacob Valero, the money exchanger, that's the real big part of it. That's why the JV is such a huge thing, is because they need me as a bank, free money, you know. They want to exchange the money value, and they just keep printing more and more and more. You know, it's all about the value of the cash. So they need to dominate. I mean, I'm telling you, the current global economic fiasco globally is so some clones can steer a Ferrari. They want to pay for it's like a lamb chop or a Lamborghini. They want to pay for a lamb chop and get a Lamborghini. That sort of thing, the cash valuation, it just doesn't add up. And so now you got a world that's relying upon competition, which isn't great when you look at it overall. It creates a lot of chaos. Chaos is good for some people. People that are trying to hide things, you got the chaos, dust clouds hiding everything. And then you've got competition, you've got tons and tons of cash, which creates, it's just sprawl. And so it's just it's destroying. And I know the real reality is they want to try to back Asia into a corner. Asia's got population concerns. So this is all vanity. And this all goes back to vanity. This whole notion of revenge and for some reason, the White House does not mean whitewash and clean blemishes. I'm sorry. That's asinine. That's insane. That's crazy stupid. I mean, that is just insane stupid. You know, I mean, that right there is insane in my whole estimation. So I'm used in order, I've been the proactive blemish remover. Any sort of blemish or mark that's placed on it, they screwed me. That's why I'm the beautician. They figure out a way. And I mean, it's beyond insanity. Just beyond. It doesn't make sense. It's bad business. You know, you're utilizing church power when the whole main premise is vanity, which is one of the 7 deadly sins, and greed, and wrath, you know, and envy, and, you know, it's all these things that and it's like an oxymoron creating a cataclysm. So then you got to seize control of the asset itself, and then emancipate it. That's where I'm coming. I'm a cathedral, let's say, the state, separation, church and state divided, fracked, and then divided and separated. Well, the fracking is actually they are really putting the screws to me. That's that old Indian. They want to get every ounce out. You know, they're going back into the wells that they thought were empty. So they're screwing me even longer, harder, and worse. They want to deep dick me hard. Them passion fruits want to show me what a longhorn cock is. They want to make me feel them. They want me to scream, "Oh, your big cock in me is so fucking massive. Oh my fucking God." You know, That's part of the vanity cosmetics. They want to fuck me so hard. You know, that's that old cockfighting mentality. You know, really, they're stabbing me. They're just stabbing the shit out of me with a spear. But, you know, it's that whole mentality. They spin doctor it for that country club humor after they done scalp me to make some fairways. You know, that sort of thing. So then you got this suicide Kool-Aid. You know, it really is. It's right now chasing the dragons. What's going on? They don't want to pay their fucking bills. They're deadbeat bums. You know, it's a bunch of fucking hippies. Sure, they might wear Brooks Brothers suits, but they're a bunch of free love hedonist hippies because they don't want to pay their bills. They're using me to pay the bills, and we're talking about accounting here. The cash validation is paying the bill. It's the energy bill. It's solar. Nobody pays a cent for energy. You know, they're not paying anything. They're getting everything for free because of the cash validation. So it's the suicide or Kool-Aid faction, like Jim Jones down there in Guyana. It's truly is. It's an addiction like heroin, chasing the dragon, smoking, whatever. It's gone from Coca-Cola having cocaine back in the late 1800s to CBS with Columbia, but then it turned into a cocaine addiction to these lines, and then went to crack. You know, they wanted to find any crack they could get it. Now they're chasing the dragon, and I guarantee you that the reason Osama bin Laden was hiding in Afghanistan was because of heroin, because they're addicted. They don't want to pay their bills. You know, there's no accountability at all. It's just free. You know, they think that's what freedom's all about. Just like, you know, it's a misinterpretation. So, you know, it really, really is. And so that's chasing that. Now they figure the best way they can try to chase the dragon. You know, they think they're titans. You know, they're above everything, above it all. You know, the problem is the math involved. We're not talking about, if you look at, let's use the Jews and the Arabs. The Jews are a small part of the Arab world. The math would be, that would be like, you know, the Bears and the Bulls or something like that. Not to say, even though there are Jews within other Arab countries, that sort of mentality. That's just the math that's involved. You got way too many people piled on here. It's like the spruce goose, but a lot worse. I mean, this is a big old fleet, but you know, the chemistry, that's where you get into the whole number thing, that sort of mentality of this just, I mean, oil or natural gas or whatever, chemistry is just being way manipulated beyond all recognition. And that's the heroin addict. I mean, they're chasing this dragon to the death. And they figure fat is one way. You know, if you're rich enough, well, even if you OD, now the spin doctors are saying, well, we got cool zombies, you know, the Walking Dead. We got a lot of cool zombies, so we're just going to keep on trucking, you know, and we'll never quit. It's hammered down. You know, they are dyed in the wool heroin junkies, pretty much. They are dyed in the wool heroin junkies is what it is. They're going to chase that dragon forever. And so they just keep on and keep on keeping on and keeping on keeping on. The spine, their stairway to heaven, that's what they think they can just produce and not pay anything. So that's why they've got the high value hostages. And the door's wide open. And nobody's done anything about it. We're just getting fucked left and right, basically. Drilled, speared, screwed, anything and everything. We're the cosmetics, you know. We're bulletproof vests, we're body armor, whatever you want to call it. Justify it any way that makes you sleep well at night. It's that tic-tac-toe game that never ends, like war games. That's what it is, war games, the tic-tac-toe. But we got some crazy motherfuckers driving the ship now that ain't never going to be wrong. They can't be wrong, you know, never ever. Because they got some high value, it's the field of dreams mentality. Basically, they've got a holy grail that's in this infallibility. So if you build it, they will come. That's the what's going on. But spin doctors, that's all it is. Make stuff up. Spin the miracle drug, if you will, emancipating. But for the most part, what they're just doing is it's like Goodfellas. I mean, this really is. It's the Goodfellas, you know. They just keep on shoveling money. You know, they're ordering money. It's like they order product on the house, and then it goes right out the back door. They make a profit on what they're selling, and then they burn the place down. They're breaking the bank. The casino's been rigged. They're digging into the tunnel. You know, whatever. There's literally like the Ocean's 11, 12, 13, the 1969 Italian Job. You know, there's so many scams going on, and there's honor and solidarity among thieves. That sort of mentality, and it's tight snatch, you know, because yeah, just give money away. It's not yours anyway. Throw money at any problem except the bank. They won't pay a fucking cent to their bank. They want free. You know, they want free. They won't pay a cent to what needs to be fixed at all. Just gonna burn it down. You know, they transferred all the money out. They went in. They used forgery credit cards. They went in, made a whole bunch of fake accounts, and they changed the rules of the game. They just changed all the rules. You know, who cares? We don't need accounting. We'll just make up fake accounts. You know, identity theft. That's the best way. And we'll validate them with this communalism, as you call it. Communalism. You know, everybody shares a gene. There's something called genetic transfer agents, the GTA. And so everybody's got it's like Jurassic Park. They started splicing dinosaurs with frog DNA. Well, that's what they're doing. They're splicing everybody, and it turns them into these big creatures. But it's like radiation. It's like you get a big old vat of wheat or corn or rice. Let's throw a little bit of uranium in there, turn it all, and then stir it all up. So everything's got a nice glow to it. And then the spin doctor to where radiation poison, oh, that's bald eagle there. Your hair falling out, now you're a bald eagle. Woo, welcome to the club. We'll scout you for fairway, the Reese Jones fairways. Woo! You know, it's just these crazy mentality of what's really going on. Trading places, you know, it's swapping body snatchers with populist mob controlling rather than, well, it's like they'll eat my meat. You know, they want me to pay my global asset through St. Louis Cathedral. They want me to pay. They want to protect the sacred livestock that they've created within me. You know, the Violet Beauregard, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory that's in my gut, the prostate that's growing, you know, a bowel obstruction like in Land of the Lost, as you would say, because I can't even afford health care or anything like that. You know, the sicker I am, the better it is for those that are reliant upon me to emancipate themselves. That sort of mentality. You know, it's the BLT, the bears, lions, and tigers. They want to eat those. Let's just throw a bear, let's throw the lions and the tigers all into the spam chow, call it spiced ham. And then, you know, it's like chopping off the heads. Killing, it's cop killing, like I said the other day. Basically, you kill a bunch of cops, and then you put a bunch of your buddies as deputies who you can control because of solidarity, that sort of thing, and then start over from scratch, or that sort of mentality. Because that's scratch golf, you know, you got to start from scratch. That's that golf has got handicapping, play it as it lies, fairway mulligan, you know, mentality, craziness. So yeah, chemistry is the miracle. And it's that and the holy oil, the holy anointed oil, the holy wine that enhances, which is really just radiation, as you would say. They've got this whole, they're radiating wheat. It's not communion. It's really like radiation. Because the problem is within communion, there are standards and principles. And these you know, violating all of the deadly sins. You know, basically violating all of the deadly sins, the cardinal sins, and they're calling it communion. That sort of mentality. Well, then you're playing 50 angles. You got good cop, bad cop, and 50 angles in between every angle. So you're kind of like the mob, you know, always a swarm. Whatever stands up, the swarm will formulate to whatever needs to. The problem is you're spending a lot of global money. I mean, literally, you're spending, in my estimation, you're running through me probably about a fourth or a fifth of the world's total assets. When you calculate in Europe, potentially Russia, because Greece is now screwed so bad, and then Latin America and North America and Central America. So that's a lot of assets right there, and you're trying to funnel them all in. I know, understand. You want to be the master. You know, you want to feed your dogs. You know, that sort of mentality. That's what seems like it's going on, but it's bad business. You know, I have to say something or I lose my credibility because I'm the bank that's getting knocked over. So if I just bend over and say, "Hey, fuck me, Bubba," you know, then chase that dragon, you know, then it just doesn't fly in my estimation. So nothing more I can do rather than trying to figure out what's going on. It's that whole who dat mentality, you know, but can't really do anything about it. Louisiana got screwed, produced a bunch of individual wealth, and those individual wealths will jump ship in a second. They'll be off in Dallas, Atlanta, New York, Colorado, Los Angeles, but Louisiana provided a lot, but it didn't. What Fortune 500 companies are there? Really nothing. You know, it got shelled. I mean, literally, it got, you know, they pulling muscles from a shell, like pried open. But I mean, for the most part, it got screwed really bad. And that way, that's part of that emancipation, discrediting the source in order to maintain control of the assets that were derived. And I really think the whole root cause of all this is cash valuation. The production of tons of wealth and assets. But then you're playing in a global arena. So you have to validate the global arena amounts of cash. And that's where it gets really tricky.